Mark from the States, Mark from the States, it's Mark from the United States.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Mark. You know where I'm from, and I'm doing fantastic. I hope you are as well. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm excited because we have a new channel today. This is DownieLive. It is come requested. I reached out, and Mike, thank you, has given his blessing for us to learn from his videos today. We're going to just start from his episode 1. He is canal boating. This is something that we don't really see too much on our channel, so I'm excited to learn and see new and exciting things today. Hopefully you'll get to see something too, but as always, below, here it is, below is the link to this video and to his channel, and it's really, really important. Yes, important that you get over there, support his channel. You know, original content creators, without them, you know, we can't learn and see new and wonderful things. So it's important that we get over there. If this is something that interests you, and from what I can tell, he's an American who's over here doing this, so, or maybe Canadian, I don't know. But get over to his channel, and he's got amazing stuff. I mean, there's so many other different things. It's just not UK stuff. He's all over the place. He's in America. He's all over doing all different things. But he has a whole series on canal boats. And, you know, many of you have requested to watch different, not just this video in particular, but just many in the series that I've gotten requests from. So I am so grateful that he's allowed us to be able to join him on his adventure. So I invite a lot of you to come, and all of you, if you can, sit on this big fake couch with me, and let's check out narrowboating. He's starting in Wales, and I think, you know, there's several episodes that he travels all the canals. The title of the video is 4 Surprising Days on a Canal Boat in Wales, episode 1. So come sit with me. Let's enjoy this together. Let's learn something today. Let's go and support Mike and his channel. Please, please, please do that. And yeah, I'm excited for this. Let's do it.
Today, we're riding narrowboats to experience Britain's best vacation on the canals. Over the next 4 episodes, we'll be exploring the canal system of the UK with over 2,000 miles of navigable waterways and a mix of history and infrastructure, where we'll travel on the iconic British narrowboat through the deepest lock, ride on the famous Anderton lift, cross the highest and longest aqueduct, and through the deepest and longest canal tunnel in the UK. Whoa. Welcome to DownieLive Travels by Boat. Today,
I'm excited
we
for
start
this.
in Wales at Gwaeder Wharf. I booked online with Drifters, but we got it from ABC Boat Hire. We are riding the red-tailed finch today. This is our lovely vessel. And let me introduce you to the crew member joining us today. It's Nicole. Excited?
Yes.
We're already very mellow, ready to go. Let's get on the canal and get started, and we'll do the tour in a bit. So this is the first time taking a narrowboat holiday for both Nicole and I, so we'll be learning as we go. Looks good.
Oh,
no
wow.
lights, no red lights. So whether this is your first time or you're a seasoned boater, the rental boat company will usually send someone out with you. In this case, we have Nathan, to help make sure you know how to operate the boat and are comfortable on the water, so that you push the tiller in the opposite direction of the way you want to go.
I feel like I picked it up.
How are we doing for the first 100 yards?
I'd be nervous. They don't go very fast, though, from what I understand. So it's not too difficult to, from what I've heard, they're not too difficult to manage, but it's still nerve-wracking. It's something so long And if a boat's coming the other way, I'd be freaking out. But I'm curious to see how long this guy stays with you. He doesn't go for your whole trip, obviously. So he just gets on board with you, and at some point, I'm assuming he gets off. Excuse me. But it's actually really cool that they actually send someone with you. You can go and rent a boat, here, and I'm sure there is where you live as well, and just get on a boat and they say, okay, see ya. But I actually like how they send somebody with you to kind of make sure you know that you're not going to ruin it and sink a canal. I imagine a sunken canal boat would just screw everything because they're so narrow and having to get that thing. But yeah, it would be nerve-wracking for me to learn how to, but it doesn't seem too difficult. You just got that one steering column, whatever we're calling it, and forward and back, right?
Great, we haven't crashed.
It's not as easy as it looks. In fact, along the way, there will be a number of challenges, like bridges, where the canal gets as narrow as a single boat width. So here we come up to our first bridge. Oh, that's snug. That's a big moment. Oh, you're through. You're through.
Okay, thank you.
You have a great time.
Okay.
Thank you. That was great.
Oh, and there he goes. Okay.
And just like that, we've passed the test, and from here on, we're on our own. Now, before we continue, I need to tell you why the canal system is here. The UK was the first country to develop a nationwide canal network, which, at its peak, expanded to nearly 4,000 miles in length. The first canal was built in 1757 and allowed cargo and goods to be transported more cheaply than by land. Boats were pulled by horses, which is why, on one side of the canal, always has a towpath, which is where the horse would be pulling from. The canals were incredibly profitable until the 1840s, when the steam train was invented, and the railway network began to spread across the country, making the canals slow and outdated. Eventually, the canals were abandoned until local canal societies began restoring them. And now the Canal and River Trust oversees and maintains the entire 2,000-kilometer network for leisure and recreation.
Canal and River
which
Trust
is what brings us here today. I've been looking forward to this trip for such a long time. This is honestly my dream vacation. You're on the boat, you control it yourself, you stop and go whenever you want, and you're just surrounded by countryside and just the two of you. While Nicole drives, I'm going to be looking through our little guidebook, finding things along the way to tell you about, but mostly finding a pub for us to stop at for dinner. The nice thing about the canal boats is that you can stop anywhere along the towpath, completely for free.
That's pretty awesome. And I would make it a point to stop at all the pubs along the way, if possible. I love the fact that you can stop, come and go. Go straight through or stop at every little thing. Definitely would obviously need the book, but just seems like a lot of fun to do this. So yeah, maybe one day, but really cool just to kind of just cruise along. What's the max speed on these things? I imagine it's not very fast at all, but for obvious reasons, you don't want it going too fast. But the fact that you're just free to just kind of pull over to the side and go for a walk or stop and eat, that sort of thing. It's just it's like a road trip, but on the water. Sounds a lot of fun.
Where are we? This picturesque part of the world is the Monmouthshire and Brecon Canal, running 35 miles in length through the Brecon Beacons National Park. And we chose it to start our narrowboat journey because, well, it's not a very popular canal, which means we can get used to driving with the boat without bumping into others. With all this lush greenery around us, it's hard to know where we are without any service on our phone, and the map doesn't update with our current location. So our only landmarks are the bridges, which are all numbered.
Oh,
Right.
that's nice.
Dinner is at a pub just off Bridge 55, so we have 18 bridges to go.
Oh my god, I'm starving.
I'd like to point out, this is not a fast boat experience. We are currently about to be passed by cyclists. Actually, you could easily walk faster than this. So the speed limit on the canal is about 4 miles per hour, which is basically, if you start leaving a wake behind you, you're going too fast. You
So
don't
they
wanna
do
leave
go
a wake
faster,
behind
though.
the boat, because that both erodes the sides, but also affects wildlife habitats along the canal. I'd say after the first 20 minutes or so, we're feeling pretty comfortable with this boat. It's long, but you drive slowly, and this is a very quiet canal with very few other boats. Mostly just ducks and birds. Hello, ducks. Hi, guys. We're Canadian, too. Holy
They're
cow.
Canadian.
No, horses.
Hi, horses. On a personal note, I'm just happy to be traveling with Nicole again. And this is an adventure we've both been excited to do together. Now, she's a bit camera shy, but that doesn't mean she isn't essential to helping me film this adventure. I couldn't have asked for a better first mate. She really is the... Geez, Nicole, do I really have to say all of this about you? I mean, this goes on for another 6 pages.
Yeah.
You enjoying this?
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Getting on the verge of hangry. What I'm getting at is I'm glad I get to do this with her, even though she's not front and center on camera all the time. But Nicole's right. We're now looking for our dinner spot. I'm just in awe of this scenery. This is some of the most beautiful countryside I've seen. Have you ever seen anywhere as green and lush as Wales? I couldn't be happier to be here. Not another boat or person in sight. Just a stunning
Love how
start
these
to our trip.
trees
You know
are
what the difference is, Nicole, about
right
this?
there on the edge.
I think if you and I took a boat tour or a boat trip or like a cruise where you just sit and see the scenery, it'd be beautiful. I do that on trains, but I'd get a little bit bored, antsy. I think the fact that we're in control and can do whatever we want and stop and go for a hike, or you're constantly driving, it's just like a little bit of excitement all day long.
Yeah.
This is just incredible. So the other canals coming up. This one doesn't have any locks that we'll be doing on this trip, but the upcoming canals that we'll be doing in future episodes, we'll be going through locks, we'll be going over aqueducts, and through tunnels.
Oh
I'm
my
so
God,
excited.
that looks weird.
Every episode, I could do this all day. And the best thing is, that's all we have to do. And of course, we come across the obligatory Welsh sheep field. Oh man, we've been on this boat for 25 minutes. It's already the greatest experience. Hi guys. Friendly neighbors out here. And oh, look at that. That's
Oh,
Howard,
wow.
too. Now, it's easy to get distracted by the scenery.
That's awesome.
But pay attention. I'll give you the tour in a second.
I forgot the way to go.
This isn't a Disneyland ride with bumpers. If you don't pay attention, you'll end up in the bushes, or worse, stuck in the mud. Look at this! This is like the Microsoft screensaver, but a Welsh version. First park job? All right, with a little experience under her belt, it's time for dinner. Nice job. Not only is this testing our boating skills, but also our communication skills. What?
I don't think you need to reverse. You can't steer.
That looks great. Okay, you got it?
Yeah.
Okay, it's our first time parking. Here we go. Again, I'll give you the tour in a minute. Ugh. So, narrow boats are allowed to park anywhere along the towpath for up to 2 weeks, for free. The boats come with stakes and a hammer to park the boat, and it does take a little while to set up, so this might just end up being where we spend the night. But I have to admit, it's a pretty nice spot.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Nicole. Sorry. Look at these guys. There's our friends. They're the big pigs.
Are they?
Yeah. Watch over the boat for us, please. Okay. Our next challenge is finding dinner.
Now, is this the right time to admit that we diverted from the guidebook and just went to using our Google Maps?
We found another pub that was a little bit closer because we were getting hungry. My gosh. This is like an oasis in the middle of the desert. The Horseshoe Treehouse is a quaint inn and pub in the middle of the Welsh countryside, where the patio is alongside a field of sheep. Oh my gosh, this might be the best patio I've ever sat at.
Look at it.
Normally a patio, a nice patio, is alongside a lake or something like that, and we're in the sun, right alongside a sheep field. I can tell you, I'm not ordering lamb tonight. It's too close to home. This is our first day in the UK on this boat series, and it's already everything I had imagined.
Absolutely.
The ale I ordered gets hand pumped from the keg. I got a local Welsh ale that's named after the spring that's on the other side of that mountain right there. Lovely, thank you. And of course, we ordered our Sunday roast dinners. Mine is like a cranberry bacon wrapped chicken roast dinner. It's awesome.
Looks pretty good.
Wow. Well, that is
I'm
true.
just loving the sun just peeking over the top of the hill there. Just gorgeous. Yeah. Well, I'm hooked. I think I want to do this.
This is the most serene and beautiful dinner I think I've ever had. This is the best. Every part of this has been amazing.
Oh,
And
the
just when I
rainbow.
thought it couldn't get any better, we get this at sunset. As the darkest, brightest rainbow I have ever seen. Yes, as a full arch. These are the moments I've come for. Narrowboating under a rainbow. I couldn't have asked for a more perfect first day. Wales,
It's pretty awesome.
you're incredible. But we have a long trip ahead of us, and I'm sure it won't all go as smoothly as today. It's about 8:30 at night, and you can't boat after dark. Sun just set, so I think we're gonna call it a night and just stay here. What? Bedtime coming, dear.
Cup of tea before bed?
Oh, yeah, when in Wales, why not? And this feels like the perfect time to give you a tour of the boat finally. So come aboard the red-tailed finch. As you come down the first steps, we have a little coat hook. Comes with raincoats because we are in Wales and it might just rain. Fire extinguisher. Then we come into the galley. Sink, propane stove, oven, fridge, toaster, microwave. Then we come through
It's got
into the
everything.
dining living room. This also pushes down into a bed if you were to have another couple with you or more friends. This would turn into a bed area. A little TV and DVD player, which will never get used. We'll come down the hall, into the bathroom, sink, toilet, and a pretty good little shower. Like lots of room in here. Come on down the hall into the master bedroom. A little more storage area. This folds down like on a train into another bunk bed, so you could have a 2 and a third, 4, 5 sleeping up front. And of course, the bow, which is where Nicole is reading in like the quietest, calmest, most pristine area in the world. And that's the boat. Not that big. Seems to have everything we need. It's time to close up the boat for the night. We'll see you in the morning. Oh, morning. If this isn't a Welsh morning, I don't know what is. All right, raincoats on.
Rain.
Let's get moving. Nothing I haven't seen in Vancouver before. One thing about this boat is there's no way to operate it from inside, so we'll be out this all day, and we have somewhere to be in a few hours, so we have to get moving. Once the lines are all up, we're good to go. Another
Hey.
day in paradise. So,
I would like to have seen how he
and Nicole's
took the
making us a
stakes
warm cup
out.
of tea, and we are headed to the 5 Locks in Pontymoyle. It's another few miles, which will take us a couple of hours of cruising just to get there. The nice thing is, if you want some exercise, like Nicole here, one of you can walk alongside on the towpath while, well, I drive the boat. Just as you think it can't get any nicer, you go
That's
around
cool.
the next bend, and it looks like this. This feels like I'm on a jungle cruise. So the reason we have to be somewhere at a certain time and why today is so important is it's because it's the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. And so we're joining a flotilla of boats to do a little boat parade in honor of that.
Oh God, there's a spider on your collar. Oh God.
Where? Which
It's
collar?
This, your right one. I was so brave of me.
You did so
That
good.
was so
What a
great.
lovely little home. Look at this.
Oh, wow.
Little
What a
cup,
cool
as they
place
say.
to have a house.
Not much better than this. With weather like this, I now understand why they drink so much tea. Remember, this is a relaxing experience, but you can't get too distracted by Nicole, because there are challenges around every bend. And I didn't line up this curve under a bridge very well. It's the first one I've had to crouch
Are there
for.
bumpers?
We didn't want that to end up in the propeller. That is a long branch. I swear this feels like a jungle. Like, look at that. That's like a vine. We're starting to get closer to a city because you can see homes are here now. Now, as you can see, the canal turns a lot. That's because the canal follows the topography of the land. We can't easily go up and down in water on a boat. So they have the canal curve along the hillside, which I think makes this a fantastic experience.
Way better.
Always awaiting with anticipation what might be coming around the next corner. And I need to tell you, we haven't done any color correction to this footage. It's actually just this green. I mean, tell me this isn't some of the most lush green forest you've ever seen. Every inch of it is covered in dark green. It's incredible. So Nicole's getting her steps in on the towpath while I'm getting a little creative with my exercise.
Work with me, folks. Work with me. Here we go.
Pa, 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 pa. But I'm thoroughly enjoying the challenge of driving a 50-foot narrowboat. Look at this! Look at this! It's so dark in here. It's 10 a.m. Gosh. We picked this canal because I thought it would be easy cruising, but this is probably the narrowest bit we've done yet. Sometimes the canal gets narrower for seemingly no reason. It feels like it's just to make sure we're paying attention, or like a speed bump to make sure we're going slowly. But Nicole is actually looking over the edge. You can see her on the left there. And she says it's an aqueduct, and we're actually passing over a road, which I think is so cool. To think we're on a water bridge passing over traffic is just wild.
From
my point of view, I'm so focused on making sure I don't scrape the sides.
Pretty wild.
I don't even notice the road. And I wouldn't have known if Nicole hadn't told me. Oh, and here comes another feature of the canal. So this is one of those spillover points that levels off the canal. So any excess water, like when it's raining like today, goes off down into that and into the river below. And that way the canal always stays at the same level, except in the hot summer months when it can get a little bit
lower. Yeah.
The other nice thing about narrowboating, besides the beauty along the canals, is the community.
Before we get into the community, so I noticed there's smaller boats as well. I think I had that question the first time I'd watched one of these canal boat videos, is can smaller boats traverse the canals with the others? And here we go. And I think someone had answered that, but this was, I don't know, a year or so ago when I first got my first experience seeing it. And it was a quick video. It wasn't as in-depth as this, or seeing, just the landscape. It's just, it's hard to explain what it must be like for him to be seeing this for the first time on these boats. And they go slow enough so you're not missing anything. You're taking it all in. If you're just going with your significant other, for 4 days on the boat, it must be just awesome. Of course, you'll probably have some moments of testing the old relationship, but which is normal. Just what a cool experience, though. I see he just one hand on the steering, whatever we're calling that, the rudder. And then you have the forward and back lever there with his left hand. It seems easy, but it probably is. Takes a little bit to get used to, but I just love that you can just park wherever and go at your own pace. It's just really cool.
Can't get around the corner. I appreciate it. Well, we're coming back from the flotilla. That's around 1. Yeah, that's one thing I've heard a lot about. It's not just about being on the canal boat and enjoying the canals, but it's kind of the life and culture and meeting others along the way. Thanks to him, Ashley, for the tip. And it doesn't seem to matter that we're on a rental boat. If you're on a narrowboat, you're a part of the community.
That's awesome.
I love that. We're now looking for a parking spot. As it's a pretty unique lifestyle with its own challenges, everyone sort of looks after one another.
I don't mean to toot my own horn. That was pretty good until I bumped it. I tried to make a joke about it.
But for now, it's breakfast time. Gonna get some breakfast finally. What is it, 10:30 in the morning? Today's breakfast is the Boatyard Cafe. It's an old canal boat, but it's now on land. Breakfast bath, please.
Fun fact, one of our favorite places to go here in Ventura. It's called the Boatyard Cafe. And now you know.
That's pretty good. Oh, man. Don't you hate it when you make a mess after lunch?
I sure do, Michael.
Golly, don't I have the product for you?
What?
Today's video is sponsored by True Earth because they make environmentally friendly products to help reduce the amount of plastic we have in the household, like their Swedish dishcloths or their compostable pop-up sponges. The dishcloths are biodegradable, compostable, and reusable. In fact, they can be machine washed up to 50 times. And the other great product
Really?
I bring with me are the compostable pop-up sponges, which are biodegradable, compostable, and of course, plastic-free. And when you add water to them, they expand to 9 times their size. Plus, they come in a pack with these 5 fun colors. And so all of these products help you use
Oh,
less
that was kinda
plastic in your
cool.
household. And if you want, I can get you 10%
It's like
off.
perfect
Just
for
use discount code
camping if
Downey
you're out in
when you click the
wilderness.
link in the description
Absolutely.
down below. So thank you, True Earth, for making great products. And
Yeah,
for
normally I
sponsoring
skip the
today's
ads,
video.
but
I gotta get back to these dishes.
this is well worth it.
Do I hear bagpipes? This floating parade is to celebrate the Queen's Jubilee. Yes, this was filmed before her passing. Now there are prizes for
No.
best decorated boat and best costume. And it looks like the competition is fierce.
Nice. How fun.
You too. Because we're in a rental boat, we'll fill in at the back of the parade. We did our best
Oh,
to put
look at
together a
that.
last-minute Jubilee celebration outfit.
Hey,
What do you think? How do we do?
feel like I fit in a little bit.
There you go.
All right, our turn. Ready to wave? Okay.
I love seeing the crowds out for any event. I mean, how fun is this? These small communities in Wales have come out to see a boat parade. If this doesn't show you exactly how special these boats are to these communities, then I don't know what will.
This has been the best way to be indoctrinated with the Canal life.
This parade has us traveling a few miles together through Pontypool to Pontymoyle.
This is our lowest one yet. That one barely cleared the boat.
Oh, and how fitting is this? The next bridge is called the Crown Bridge.
Got a duck.
We're slow. There's something on our propeller or our tiller or something.
Uh-oh.
What is happening? We can't even see the boat in front of us anymore. Something's not right. We're going slower and slower and falling behind, even though I have the throttle set at full speed.
We are falling further and further behind the group. We catch up at the tight points, and then they leave us on the long straightaways. We've really got to fix whatever's down below.
I hate to do this, but we need to find somewhere to pull over and figure this out. What a pain in our day. Now I have to change out of my suit too? This is not how our first full day is supposed to go.
Oh, that's a
Luckily,
bummer.
they showed us how to check this when we rented the boat.
Oh,
It's
they did.
amazing how quickly you can go from being in a parade to elbow deep in the canal. Even though the keys are out of the ignition, I still have a fear of reaching down and putting my hands on the propeller. Ooh, it's cold water. I've never done this before, so I don't really know what I'm feeling. Oh, whoa, that's not right.
That's one.
Okay.
There's a strap. More strap. Feels clear. I think it was just the strap. Just by this. Just this. All right, let's see if we can go catch this parade.
I know these moments are annoying. I mean, we had to
No.
pull out of the parade, and it.
No, I'm glad he actually showed that because, I mean, if you're doing something like this is helpful. Obviously, it's something that does happen. They actually have an opening to where you don't have to actually get in the water to check the propeller. It's a way you can reach down in there and clean the propeller. Obviously, it happens quite a bit, or they wouldn't have thought of putting something like that in there for you to have to dig out a strap or branches or whatever gets caught up, for sure. So I'm glad he actually showed that, because that would especially on the parade. But I am loving this. I really am. This is so cool. What a cool time to be there. And him being Canadian, I know I mentioned, I didn't know if he was American or Canadian. I should have just said North American. That would have probably, so I apologize to you, Mike, and didn't mean to call you American. It wasn't meant to be an insult. That here he is here for the Jubilee, and what a cool moment.
It's easy to feel like this has ruined our afternoon.
Yeah, it's going faster.
But Nicole and I worked well as a team to figure it out, and honestly, this is probably the story we'll tell back home. Sometimes it's these little struggles that are what make narrowboating an actual adventure and not a boring cruise. Speaking of which, let's see if we can catch up to this flotilla.
We're coming up to our very first tunnel, not a bridge. This is like an actual tunnel. Look at that. Look at that.
Look at the masonry in this tunnel. The engineering and history of the canals is just as impressive as the scenery itself.
This is so cool.
And that's saying something because Wales is stunning.
This is amazing. It's like coming out into another world.
Now, because we've fallen so far behind, the parade has already turned around and come back towards us.
Hello. Very much so.
Good.
Once we finally get it turned around in front of a crowd, there are some very friendly boaters who noticed we're new here, and they wanted to greet us. You see, narrowboats aren't just for holidays. These fellas are called liveaboards because they live aboard their boat.
What do you do if you live on a boat? Do you go to work somewhere, or do you work?
I work 3 days a week in an hour away from here
So how do you get to work?
in a car.
Okay, so you do have a car. Okay.
Yeah. And then 2 days a week I work on the boat, online.
Online.
I'm a saddler, a leather worker, so I just drive to customers, sort their saddles out, have a small workshop.
So how does it work to manage, for both of you, a car and a house that potentially moves? And then how do you move the house and the car?
So you drive to somewhere, park the car, then drive the boat, walk back, get into the boat, take the boat up to that area.
So short distances at a time.
All right, enough chit-chat. Let's see what it's actually like to live on board.
This is a tight squeeze in. This is how I know you're maximizing space indoors.
Living on board an airboat has the constraints of space.
This bed folds down, so I can't do it at the moment because we've got all the stuff in the engine.
But this is where you sleep.
Yeah, it's a very small bathroom.
Oh, yeah.
Compost toilet.
Oh, compost toilet.
It may be 57 feet long, but it's only 6 feet wide.
She also sews, so all the bunting on our boat today she's made. So
Wow.
Which means you're essentially living in one long hallway.
Pantry kind of thing?
yeah.
Oh my God.
Wow, look at that.
So you give up some of your everyday luxuries, but of course, you gain the benefits of freedom and living on the water.
And then this is our favourite.
Wow.
The front patio.
Yeah.
Oh, I like the benches.
Yeah, this is a good part. So it's also where we store our wood, and that's where we put the water in and stuff. It's perfect.
Lewis, thanks so much for the tour.
No worries.
I get it. I get the appeal. Can I convince you? Chance?
I could be convinced.
Hey, we're business.
Now, being inspired by Lewis and Gareth, we're headed into town to stock up our own kitchen.
That would be tough to live on one of those. I've done houseboating here in the States on a really big lake, Lake Powell. It's in Utah, Arizona area. And we stayed on a houseboat for a week. And it's a big boat. It was pretty big. They're wide. So it's not just a narrow hallway. I don't know if I could do it. But man, I'll tell you what, the scenery is pretty nice, and I think it would be great for a vacation. I don't know if it'd be something I could do permanently, but to each his own. I love it. I just think this has got to be something I need to do. And Mike and Nicole are you could just see it in their faces how much fun they're having, and it is an adventure. I mean, absolutely.
Kitchen. Really, the nice thing about these boats is they have fully functional kitchens with everything you need.
And I love you can just go to the
stocking
store.
up just like we would at home.
Most beautiful walk to a grocery store we've ever done.
We've done a lot of walks to a lot of grocery stores.
Now, after a long day, it's time for a cup of tea before we start to head back up the canal.
All right. After an exciting day of the Queen's Jubilee and grocery shopping and visiting people who live on boats, that's the most southern point on this canal. It's a dead end, so we're gonna head back north.
After coming down with a goal of joining the parade, we're headed back with no real schedule or anywhere to be for the first time on this trip. And this must be what it's like to live on board, The choice to go as far as you'd like, to putter along and stop when you want.
Coming through a tunnel again. The only tunnel going back.
What I find most impressive is how sheltered the canals are from the rest of the towns along the route. We can't see any homes, buildings, or streets, which makes it great for boaters, but also locals who can come use the towpath to walk or jog and get away from it all.
I mean, you have to admit this feels like a Disneyland ride, right?
So what if
This is
someone's
amazing.
coming the other way?
Keep it off the walls. You're all good.
How do you, I mean, the thing's long enough to where it's
this
hard
might
to
just
see.
be one of my most
the other
interesting
end.
adventures yet. This country is one of the most beautiful countries I've ever seen. But the fact that you travel it by boat just doubles it.
It's a little oasis in town, and now it's time for dinner. Ah, here's a pub right on the side of the canal. Let's stop here.
Perfect.
Onwards we go to the next pub for dinner. They weren't serving food anymore,
Oh.
which worries me about the next one.
Okay, we've checked the map, and there doesn't seem to be any more canal-side restaurants ahead of us, so we're just gonna order online at an Indian restaurant and go into town to pick it up. As we eat on board, the sun sets, and well, we might just spend the night here. So let's just cut to morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
So today is our last day on the boat. We don't have a schedule, we don't have anywhere we have to be, except tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., back where we started to return the boat. So we're just gonna cruise and enjoy the day. Get to know the local ducks.
Not a single person out here this morning. This feels like a self-guided Disneyland ride.
Along the route is all sorts of
Does
hidden
give you that
history.
jungle
Now, the reason
cruise
this point is
feel.
so narrow is because it's actually the connector between two canals, the Monmouthshire and the Brecon Canal, and this was the old toll house. So you'd stop in here, pay the toll, and then they'd open the gate and let you onto the other canal.
Living on a boat is a relaxing experience, but there is some general maintenance to be done.
Because Nicole and I have taken showers and done dishes, we're a little low on water. And this is what's called a water point.
Let's give this a go.
We apparently just fill that until it overflows.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna stand by the nozzle so I can watch that. Wow, I didn't even realize we used that much water. This kind of really reminds us to think about our water usage in the world. Overflowing. There we go. There we go. Shut her down. Shut her down. Oh. Whew. I think this is my reminder to you that while it feels like a holiday, there are in fact responsibilities.
So for me, this is kind of my ideal vacation. It's relaxing with little bits of adventure and things to do to keep you busy, so you don't get too bored.
And while we've stopped for water, why not get another breakfast bap? Perfect. Good stop. Water for the boat and for us.
Egg on your face.
Off we go.
Even though we're heading back on the same canal we came down, it hasn't lost any of its luster. This is just as enthralling as it was on the way down, and maybe more, since we're not in a rush. You just see it differently.
Well, yeah.
This bridge is a great example of the few times that we do see signs of modern life while on board, while the cars above us don't actually have any idea that we're down here. Life on board a narrowboat is simple and peaceful, and in Wales, anyways, it's full of sheep.
Hey, I'm dressed just like you. This is wool too. I love your coat. Looks great.
Traveling with your whole house with you means you can take turns driving, while the other one reads or can get some work done, or just sit and eat carrots.
Oh, look who we found.
Oh,
Look how close you get. Look at this. Hi, guys. Do you guys know which way to the pub? It's the most peaceful, enjoyable holiday vacation I've ever done.
I think it's clear that I love this. What does Nicole think?
The bed's a little small.
Well,
yeah.
maybe the next one.
Sometimes we go hours longer than we should reasonably without food. Like, this was not a relaxing 4 days.
No.
It was actually pretty stressful. And look, I will say, it is stunning out here, especially when you get to the countryside.
Yeah.
It's been an interesting trip so far. I look forward to getting better at learning how to work on the boat together and time our days a bit better.
What have you thought about driving the boat?
I like driving the boat.
It's
Of
fun,
course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of
Now,
course you
along with the challenge of driving a long boat, the other difficulty is finding dinner.
I think we took a wrong turn. That's it. On a rainy day like this is like a warm sanctuary. And they're not serving food tonight. That store is closed. Fish and chips bar is closed. No luck tonight. But it's all about who you're traveling with to, well, just make it fun.
I guess it's a good thing we went grocery shopping.
So tonight is dinner a la groceries. I think we're having a deli-style dinner.
Question is, Michael, are you going to have peanut butter and jam as per usual, or are you going to branch out and have a ham sandwich? Let me just guess. Peanut butter and jam.
I already had one of those today. I'll have a ham and cheese.
Get out. Who are you?
Dang. Way to throw together a dinner, baby.
Thanks, baby.
Leftover tandoori from last night, fresh cut veggies, ham and cheese sandwiches.
And so, we settle into our evening routine.
You know what's nice about this trip? I think both of us have more time to do our hobbies, do what we love. You get time to read. I get time to wash dishes, which I love.
Well, when you have all those compostable sponges to go through, because that really makes an exciting part of your day.
Exactly.
Nice plug.
Our final day. We have about an hour's cruise to return this.
This was my first time in Wales, and I can tell you, it has absolutely blown me away. From the pristine and green countryside to the warm hospitality, I am in love with narrowboat life.
So this canal has really set the standard for us. The next 3 canals coming are going to be a little bit busier, have more locks, probably a lot more boats on them, and we're going to keep reflecting back. Are they better than this one? So keep that in mind as we do the next ones. You can start voting in the comments down below in the next upcoming videos.
Which has me sad that this is the end of our time on the Monmouthshire and Brecon Canal. But excited to discover what's different and unique about the upcoming canals in the next 3 episodes.
I am going to miss this. Even the rain wasn't as bad as it could have been.
I want to add a big thanks to drifters.co.uk for helping us plan our whole trip. I highly recommend using them, and I've left a link in the description down below in case you want to book a trip.
Okay, well, Nathan, good to see you again.
No worries.
We brought it back still floating.
Thank you.
Met the minimum requirement. That's it for the Red-Tailed Finch here at ABC Leisure Group, but next week looks like this.
As we make our way to the highest and longest aqueduct and towards the longest and deepest tunnel, next week we're cruising along the Trent and Mersey Canal, where we'll encounter our first tunnel and use one of the 7 wonders of the waterways, descending 50 feet on the Anderton River, before discovering the shortest
Look at
canal
that
in the
boat,
network.
though.
But more importantly,
Sweet.
we tackle our first flight of locks as we explore the joys and challenges of life on a narrowboat here on DownieLive Travels by Boat.
Please go and support Mike and his channel. That was a lot of fun. That really was, and eye-opening. I mean, obviously the scenery of Wales and is just absolutely stunning. I love the fact that, I mean, I'm sold. He sold me. I don't know if I can just see my wife and I on this thing going at it. There'd be a lot of, she would want to drive. She is kind of a control, I don't want to say a control freak, but she likes to drive. She likes to be in control of like, whenever we go somewhere, she always wants to drive. She doesn't think I'm a good driver. I drive too slow. That's a whole nother story, though. But she's awesome. She would drive, and I'd be okay with that, because I would like to be able to do other things. I'd like to be able to see I mean, not going so fast, so it'd be hard to miss stuff, but it just looks amazing. And the fact you can stop wherever. Problem is, you know, places close so early, stop serving food, whatever. So you really got to plan that part out a little bit better, but it doesn't seem difficult to manage to pilot one of these boats. looks like a lot of fun though, and I can't wait to get into the other episodes of this series. Now he did say Mersey, so we're now moving into England and going with those canals. So this is it answered a lot of questions for me. I think I had a question about what size of the boats. Look like more boats, any size can be on there. You could stop wherever you can. I wish he would have showed us turning around a little bit more, because that seemed very difficult. He said he had some help, which is great, and the community on the canal itself is just looks wonderful, and people just seem to be so friendly. One of the cool things is how you can walk along the boat, so you don't have to just be sitting on the towpath. That's awesome. Just really cool. I'm into it. Thank you, Mike, for allowing us to learn and see something new from your videos, and look forward to seeing others. I'm truly blessed that you've allowed us to do this. I don't even know if he's watching, but if you are out there, thank you again. This was pretty awesome, and I look forward to the other ones. Please go and support his channel, DownieLive. The link to his channel and to this video, so you can watch it without me talking and pausing. And in fact, I encourage you to go over there and watch all the other videos before we get to them, and then come back. And that way you can point out, right? You can point out things that I'm inevitably going to miss. Hope everybody's happy, healthy, and safe. Thank you so much for coming. Have a great day. Should we do it? No, I'm going to do it the next weekend. Not this weekend, but the next weekend we're going to do a live stream. So you'll get notified probably next week for that. And take care, buddy. We'll see you soon. All right, bye.
Mark from the States, Mark from the States, it's Mark.